Today, we're really zooming in. We're taking a scalpel to the market and going right down to the microsecond level.
We are. Our mission is to pull apart Chapter 3 of Irene Aldridge's high-frequency trading. The goal here is to find some really practical, high-speed insights that can genuinely sharpen your price action scalping.
Yeah, we're trying to move way beyond just looking at chart patterns or, moving averages.
Exactly. If you're serious about this, you need to understand the why, the actual mechanics behind every single tick.
So that's the core question, isn't it? Why does price move the way it does in those tiny fractions of a second? And how can we actually use that knowledge?
Let's jump in. The absolute foundation of all of this is the limit order book.
The LOB.
The LOB, it's the central nervous system for pretty much every electronic market on the planet now.
It's the list, right? The list of all the buyers and all the sellers.
It is. You have the bid side, which is all the limit buy orders, and the ask or offer side with all the limit sell orders. These are all what we call passive orders.
Just waiting there.
Just waiting. And the whole game is about the interaction between those passive orders and, well, the aggressive ones.
Okay, so let's define that spectrum. Passive versus aggressive.
Right. So a passive order is just a limit order sitting there, maybe far away from the current price. They're providing liquidity, waiting for the market to come to them.
And the aggressive orders are the ones that go and get it.
They're the liquidity takers. They want to trade right now.
The most aggressive being the market order, obviously. It just crosses the spread and executes instantly.
That's the most aggressive, yeah. But it's not totally black and white. You can have a limit order that's very close to the market price, and that's still pretty aggressive. It's about your intent.
And this whole battle, this dance, happens at a speed we can only measure with tick data.
High-frequency trading is all about tick data. These are records of market activity with timestamps in milliseconds or even microseconds.
Not your daily chart.
Not at all. Tick data gives you that granular info on bid-ask prices and, crucially, the size available at those prices. You have to capture that depth to scalp effectively.
Now, a lot of retail scalpers might not have access to, say, full level 2 data. It can be expensive.
That's a really important point, and it's a constraint, for sure. But here's the good news.
All right.
A lot of the most powerful predictive tools we're going to talk about can actually be modeled using just basic level I data.
So just the best bid, best ask, and the size is there.
Exactly. It makes these insights actionable for almost everyone.
All right, let's get to the mechanism itself. The arrival of those aggressive orders. Aldridge calls this the sweep.
The sweep. This is the mechanical core of price movement. Imagine a huge market buy order hits the book.
And it's bigger than the liquidity sitting at the best ask price.
Much bigger. So it doesn't just stop. It starts sweeping up through the order book, consuming the orders at the next price, then the next, then the next.
It's literally eating all the available shares.
It is. And think about what that does. It's like a flash flood that drains a reservoir.
It leaves a vacuum.
A huge vacuum. And that creates two immediate problems for anyone coming in right after. First, the bid-ask spread just blows out wide open.
And second,
slippage. The next market order that comes in executes at a much, much worse price than expected. It's a direct mechanical result of that liquidity being wiped out.
so if you're a scalper and you jump in right after a big sweep, you're starting from a massive disadvantage.
A massive one. And this brings us to transaction costs. We all focus on commissions, but they're shrinking.
Right.
The real killer, the dominant cost, is becoming market impact.
Which is that adverse price change your own order causes.
Yes. The data shows market impact can eat up something like 0.387% of the dollar volume. Commissions are down around 0.089%.
So market impact is over 4 times more costly than commissions.
That's the key. For any scalper listening, your time is better spent trying to minimize your market footprint than hunting for a broker that's a fraction of a cent cheaper.
Okay, before we get to where you trade, what about the other side, the passive orders? If I place a limit order, how do I know I'll get filled first?
That completely depends on the market's rules. The execution algorithm.
Two main types.
Two main types. In stocks, it's usually price time priority, first in, first out, or FIFO.
So the oldest order at the best price gets the trade.
Correct. So if you're trading stocks, timing your placement is everything.
But that's not the case everywhere. What about futures?
Futures markets often use something different called pro rata matching.
How does that work?
An incoming market order gets matched proportionally across all the limit orders at the best price, no matter when they got there.
So being first doesn't matter.
It's more about having size, a different strategy entirely.
This is all getting very complex, and now we have to talk about where these trades are even happening. The market is so fragmented.
It is. It's split into two main buckets. You've got the lit exchanges, like the NYSE. They handle maybe 78% of the volume.
And their order books are transparent. You can see the orders.
Right. And they're subject to the NBBO rule, the National Best Bid and Offer.
Which guarantees your market order gets the best available price nationwide.
In theory. Then you have the other 22% of volume happening in dark pools.
Where the order book is hidden.
Completely hidden. The advantage there is for huge institutions. They can trade massive blocks without tipping their hand and causing,
Market impact.
Exactly. They are willing to give up the NBBO price guarantee just to hide their flow. That tells you how expensive market impact really is for them.
But the rabbit hole goes deeper. It's not just lit versus dark. The fee structures of the exchanges themselves are different.
And this is where it gets really interesting for a scalper. You have what we call normal exchanges.
Like the NYSE.
Yep. They charge the aggressive takers, the market orders a fee, and they pay a rebate to the passive providers who put limit orders on the book.
So they're incentivizing liquidity.
They want you to put your orders there and wait.
Yeah.
But then you have the inverted exchanges.
And they flip it.
They flip the model on its head. They charge the passive providers and pay a rebate to the aggressive takers.
Wait, so they literally pay you to place a market order and take liquidity?
They do. It's an economic incentive that absolutely works. It attracts a ton of aggressive, momentum-chasing flow.
So the takeaway is, if my strategy is about getting in now, I should be routing my aggressive orders to an inverted exchange to get paid for it.
That is a massive execution edge that most people don't even think about.
Okay, this brings us to the prediction part. How can we use all this knowledge of the market's plumbing to actually forecast the next move?
It all comes down to modeling order flow.
The difference between the buy-side volume and the sell-side volume.
The net difference, yeah. It's highly autocorrelated, and the research suggests it accounts for at least half of the information that gets baked into prices. It is the engine of short-term moves.
So why is it so predictive? More so than just price.
Well, there are three main reasons. First is commitment. A market order is an irrevocable bet. It's an honest belief about direction.
You can't take it back.
You can't. Second is opacity. Because the market is so fragmented, the total order flow isn't obvious. If you can model the consolidated flow before everyone else, you have an edge.
And the third reason goes back to the sweep.
It does. It's pressure. Even a big, non-informed order causes a sweep. It creates a temporary market impact, a predictable little price move. If you see that pressure building, you can capitalize on it.
So monitoring the percentage of market orders can be a signal.
A huge signal that traders think the price is about to run away from the current level.
But the most actionable tool you mentioned, especially for someone with level I data, is this order flow imbalance, or OFI.
The OFI is fantastic. It was developed by Kant, Kukunov, and Stoikov, and it's so powerful because it just looks at the instantaneous change in size at the best bid and ask.
So not the price changing, but the number of shares available.
Exactly. Let me give you an example. The best bid is stable at, say, $10. The price isn't moving.
Okay.
But the size at that $10 bid suddenly doubles, then triples.
So more and more buyers are lining up, putting in their limit orders at that price.
Precisely. That is quantifiable, passive buying pressure building up. And that accumulation, which the OFI metric captures, very often happens right before the price ticks up. You're seeing the cause before the effect.
So to recap everything, true scalping success is about knowing the mechanical effects, the sweeps, the slippage. It's about navigating the fragmented market's incentives.
Knowing where to send your order to get paid or get filled.
And finally, it's about modeling that directional order flow pressure using a tool like OFI.
That's the whole deep dive. You stop seeing price as just random noise and start seeing it as the mechanical result of all these forces.
And if you can accurately model that instantaneous order flow imbalance, even with just level I data, you're gaining an edge that used to be only for prop trading desks.
You really are.
Which leaves us with a final thought, a strategic trade-off. Knowing all this, are you willing to pay a higher commission at a normal exchange to place a limit order and wait for a rebate?
Or does your strategy demand you pay for immediate execution at an inverted exchange to capture a move before that next sweep happens?
Patience for a rebate or speed for execution?
That's the ultimate question for any high-velocity scalper.
We'll see you next time.